Some animals give birth to a single massive baby that requires months of care, while others release hundreds or even thousands of offspring at once. From creatures hatching out of enormous eggs to newborns braving the harshest conditions from the very first moment. These are the 28 most astonishing animal births ever captured on camera. Number 28. Elephants. A baby elephant's first breath comes after a 250-pound free fall to the dirt. That's not an accident. The 6-foot drop rips open the birth sac and snaps the umbilical cord. Without that violent impact, the calf would suffocate in its own fluid. Evolution designed the most brutal welcome possible because it works. 22 months of pregnancy end with the mother surrounded by screaming relatives. The aunts and sisters form a wall around her, trumpeting at anything that moves while she pushes out something the size of a small refrigerator. The newborn hits the ground and starts choking. The mother clears its airways with her trunk, while the family shoves it upright. 1 hour to stand, 3 hours to walk, 2 days to match the herd's pace or get abandoned. No practice runs, no second chances. Number 27. Stingrays. Stingrays carry their babies in a way that makes no sense until you really think about it. They're fish, but they don't spawn like fish. They're not mammals, but the mothers produce something remarkably similar to milk. Inside the mother, 5 to 15 pups develop in individual compartments, each feeding on its own egg yolk like a bird would. But here's where it gets weird. When that yolk runs out, the mother's body starts secreting a nutrient-rich fluid directly into the uterus. The developing pups literally drink this uterine milk through specialized structures. The babies stay inside their mother for up to 6 months in some species, emerging as perfect miniatures of their parents, about the size of a dinner plate. The moment they're born, they swim away. No parenting, no protection, no looking back. They're born knowing how to hunt, how to bury themselves in sand, how to whip their tails in defense. Every survival instinct is pre-programmed. The mother might give birth in shallow waters near shore, giving her pups a fighting chance in the nursery areas where predators are fewer. But that's the extent of her maternal care. Number 26. Seahorses. In the entire animal kingdom, only one male actually gets pregnant and gives birth, and he does it in the most violent way possible. Male seahorses go through full labor with contractions that would make any mother scream. For 12 straight hours, his swollen belly convulses, shooting babies into the water like a biological machine gun. Each spasm launches 5 to 50 microscopic seahorses. By the end, he's fired out 2,000 translucent babies with black dot eyes. This insane arrangement started when female seahorses convinced evolution to let them dump all the work on males. During a 10-second underwater dance, she deposits her eggs into his belly pouch and vanishes. His body becomes a living pregnancy machine. The male's hormones go haywire. He stops eating for days before the nightmare begins. When contractions hit, babies explode into the current and disappear forever. No protection, just 2,000 microscopic seahorses scattered into an ocean packed with predators. The moment he recovers, the female returns for another 10-second egg dump. Male seahorses are living baby factories with no days off. Number 25. Echidnas. Echidnas lay eggs like a bird, carry them like a kangaroo, and feed their babies like no other animal on Earth. The female lays a single leathery egg about the size of a grape, but instead of building a nest, she uses her back muscles to roll it directly into a temporary pouch that forms on her belly just for breeding season. For 10 days, she carries this egg against her warm skin, barely moving, living off her fat reserves. When the baby hatches, it's the size of a jelly bean, pink, hairless, and blind. It has to deal with the fact that its mother has no nipples. Instead, she has milk patches, specialized pores that leak milk when the baby pushes against them with its soft, tube-like snout. The baby, called a puggle, laps up this milk like a cat, growing rapidly while still in the pouch. After about 2 months, when its spines start developing, the mother evicts it to a burrow. She'll return every few days to feed it, but that's it for maternal care. Number 24. Hyenas. Female spotted hyenas have a birth canal that runs through what looks exactly like male anatomy. This enlarged clitoris, called a pseudopenis, is 7 inches long and has to stretch to 3 times its normal width during birth. The canal makes a sharp turn halfway through. Cubs have to navigate this twisted tunnel that's barely an inch wide at its narrowest point. 60% of firstborn cubs suffocate before they ever see daylight. This insane anatomy actually makes perfect sense for hyena society. Females are the bosses, bigger, stronger, and meaner than any male. That pseudopenis isn't just for giving birth. Females use it for everything males do with theirs: scent marking territory, dominance displays, even greeting ceremonies where clan members inspect each other's equipment. When it comes time to mate, the male has to somehow insert himself into this structure, which only works if the female retracts it and allows him access. She has complete control. The cubs that survive this nightmare birth come out with their eyes open and teeth already sharp, ready to fight. Twins will try to kill each other within hours, especially if they're the same sex. Number 23. Anacondas. Female anacondas find the deepest, murkiest water they can before giving birth, sometimes submerging themselves in mud so thick it's barely liquid. After carrying her babies for 7 months, a 200-pound mother might deliver 40 live young, each one 2 feet long and immediately capable of killing. They're born in individual membrane sacs underwater, and they have to break free and swim to the surface for their first breath or drown in the same water that protected them. The mother doesn't eat during her entire pregnancy, over half a year without food. By the time she gives birth, she's lost 30% of her body weight. Those babies swimming around her, they look like easy meals, and sometimes they are. Mothers occasionally eat their own young, especially the stillborn or weak ones. For them, it's not cruelty, it's recovery. She needs protein desperately, and in the jungle, you take what you can get. The surviving babies scatter within hours, disappearing into the vegetation. They're born knowing how to constrict, how to unhinge their jaws, how to sense heat with special facial pits. They'll never see their mother again, and she wouldn't recognize them if they did. Number 22. Orangutans. A baby orangutan emerges after 8.5 months, and the first thing its mother does is eat the placenta while hanging 100 feet up in a tree. She bites through the umbilical cord with her teeth, all while balanced on a branch that could snap under their combined weight. The newborn, weighing about 3 pounds, can't even hold up its own head. Its neck muscles are so weak that without constant support, it would suffocate under the weight of its oversized brain. The mother uses her mouth to clear mucus from the baby's airways, sucking it out and spitting it aside. She'll carry this infant constantly for 2 years, never putting it down, not even to sleep. Her body becomes the baby's entire world: transportation, food source, bed, and playground. Teaching starts immediately. Every movement through the trees is a lesson. The baby memorizes thousands of roots through the forest canopy, learns which of 400 different fruits ripen when, which leaves cure stomach aches, and which bark treats wounds. This education takes 8 years, which is the longest childhood of any animal except humans. Number 21. Gastric brooding frog. The gastric brooding frog mother swallows her fertilized eggs and turns off her stomach acid completely. For 8 weeks, her stomach becomes a womb. She can't eat, can't digest, can't even produce the enzymes that would normally break down food. Special chemicals from the developing eggs shut down her entire digestive system. The tadpoles grow in her stomach, feeding on their yolk sacs, swimming in gastric fluid that's been neutralized to the pH of water. When they're ready, she vomits them out one by one over several hours. Sometimes a fully formed froglet sits on her tongue for minutes before hopping away. Scientists discovered this species in 1973 and watched it go extinct by 1981, taking its secrets with it. They were trying to study how the frogs turned off stomach acid, thinking it might help treat stomach ulcers in humans. Some researchers still keep tissue samples frozen, hoping to revive the species and unlock the medical mysteries hidden in the most bizarre birth nature ever invented. Number 20. Giant pandas. A giant panda gives birth to something that looks more like a naked rat than a bear. The pink, blind creature weighs 4 ounces. Her mother weighs 200 pounds. That's 900 times smaller than mom. The biggest size difference between mother and baby in any mammal. The newborn is so underdeveloped that it can't regulate its own temperature, can't defecate without help, and can't even crawl. For the first month, the mother won't put it down, not even for a second. She cradles this jelly bean-sized baby against her chest constantly, breathing warm air on it, licking it to stimulate blood flow. She doesn't eat, doesn't drink, doesn't leave the den. Her body survives on stored fat, while she focuses entirely on keeping this impossibly fragile creature alive. The baby won't open its eyes for 8 weeks. It won't have its black and white markings for a month. Wild panda mothers almost always have twins, but they can only care for one. The second cub is abandoned within days, left to die while the mother focuses all her energy on the stronger twin. Number 19. Hedgehogs. Baby hedgehogs are born with 100 quills already under their skin, like splinters waiting to emerge. Within hours, these white, soft quills push through. Within days, darker adult quills start growing between them. The mother has to be careful nursing. One wrong move, and those quills pierce her belly. Some mothers abandon babies whose quills emerge too early. The babies, called hoglets, are born with their eyes and ears sealed shut. They navigate purely by smell for 2 weeks, following their mother's scent trail as she leads them to food each night. Number 18. Sea urchins. 20 million eggs explode from a single female sea urchin like an underwater volcano. The males release their own white clouds of sperm at the same time, turning the water into a reproductive soup. For a few minutes, the ocean around them becomes thick with potential life. Each egg is smaller than a grain of sand, invisible to the human eye individually. But together, they form clouds dense enough to turn clear water milky. Within hours, The fertilized eggs transform into swimming larvae covered in tiny hairs that beat in coordinated waves. These microscopic creatures drift for months, eating even smaller plankton, growing their distinctive shells one plate at a time. Out of those 20 million, maybe 5 will survive to adulthood. The rest become food for filter feeders, or sink to depths where the pressure crushes them, or simply fail to find the exact type of algae-covered rock they need to settle on. The parents never know their offspring exist. Number 17. Kangaroos. A kangaroo baby crawls out of its mother after just 33 days, looking like a pink lima bean with arms. This blind, hairless creature, smaller than a cherry, has to climb through a forest of fur to reach the pouch, while its mother licks a trail to guide it. The journey takes 3 minutes. If it falls, it dies. The mother won't help. Once in the pouch, the joey clamps onto a nipple that swells in its mouth, locking it in place for 2 months. The mother can freeze her next pregnancy at the 100-cell stage if she's already nursing, keeping the embryo suspended for up to a year until the current joey leaves the pouch. Number 16. Shingleback lizards. Shingleback lizards give birth to babies so large that veterinarians who first see them often assume something's gone wrong. The twins, it's almost always twins, together weigh a third of their mother's body weight. For a 150-pound human woman, that would mean delivering a single 50-pound baby, or twins weighing 25 pounds each. The mother's internal organs get compressed against her spine. She stops eating weeks before birth because there's literally no room for food. These babies come out fully formed, looking like perfect miniatures of their parents, complete with the stubby tail that gives them their name. They can walk immediately, their eyes are open, and they're ready to eat solid food within hours. The mother shows no maternal care whatsoever. The babies follow her for a few days, learning what to eat by watching, then wander off. What makes this even stranger is that shingleback lizards mate for life, returning to the same partner year after year, but they never acknowledge their offspring. Number 15. Sloths. Sloths give birth while hanging upside down, 100 feet above the forest floor. The mother hooks all 4 limbs around a branch, spreads her back legs, and delivers her baby in midair. If she loses her grip, if the branch breaks, if anything goes wrong, both mother and baby plummet to their deaths. The newborn has to grab onto its mother's fur instantly or fall. Its claws are fully developed at birth, the only part of it that is. Everything else about the baby is pathetically underdeveloped, except those claws. For the next 9 months, the baby will cling to its mother's belly, nursing from nipples located in her armpits. The mother moves so slowly that algae grows on both of them, providing perfect camouflage. She'll only descend to the ground once a week to defecate, and the baby comes with her, learning the precise tree where this ritual happens. Sloths always return to the same tree to relieve themselves, even though this behavior makes them vulnerable to predators. Number 14. Barnacle geese. Barnacle goose chicks face a choice 3 days after hatching: jump off a 400-foot cliff or starve. Their parents nest on these Arctic cliff faces to avoid foxes and bears, but there's no food up there. The parents can't carry them down. So the mother stands at the bottom of the cliff and calls. The father stands at the top and pushes. The chicks, still covered in fluffy down, barely able to walk, have to take a leap of faith. They don't fly. They can't. They bounce. Their tiny bodies ricochet off rock ledges, tumble through air pockets, and crash into outcroppings. Their lightweight and fluffy down provides just enough cushioning that about 60% survive the fall. The ones that make it lie stunned at the bottom, while their mother quickly gathers them before Arctic foxes arrive to collect the ones that didn't. Within minutes of this insane plunge, the surviving chicks are walking miles to feeding grounds. Number 13. Giant African land snails. Giant African land snails fire their babies out like a biological machine gun. Every second, another pearl-white egg shoots from an opening on the right side of the snail's head where their reproductive organs are located. These hermaphrodites carry both male and female parts, letting them mate with themselves or another snail. Either way, they can produce 1,200 eggs per year. The eggs look exactly like tiny bird eggs, complete with calcium shells, buried 6 inches underground. Here's the bizarre part. During mating, 2 snails stab each other with calcium love darts before exchanging sperm. These darts inject hormones that increase sperm survival. The snails can store this sperm for 2 years, fertilizing multiple batches of eggs from one mating session. Baby snails eat their own eggshells first, then their siblings' shells, gaining the calcium needed to build their own spiral homes. Within a year, they're 7 inches long and ready to start shooting out their own offspring. Number 12. Naked mole rats. The naked mole rat queen can deliver 27 babies in a single litter, more than any other mammal. Her body stretches like a balloon, vertebrae actually spreading apart to make room. She's the only female in a colony of 300 who's allowed to breed. If another female tries, the queen's aggressive attacks suppress their hormones so severely that they become sterile. The queen rules through chemical warfare and violence. After a 70-day pregnancy, the pups are born underground in total darkness. They're fed by workers who've never had babies of their own but lactate anyway when exposed to the queen's pheromones. The entire colony becomes a milk production facility. These pups will grow up to be either workers, soldiers, or, if they're very lucky, dispersers who leave to start new colonies. Most will never see sunlight, never reproduce, and spend their entire 30-year lifespan serving the queen. Number 11. Porcupines. Baby porcupines are born with 30,000 quills that could kill their mother if nature hadn't found a clever solution. The quills are soft and wet at birth, lying flat against the baby's body, coated in a special fluid that keeps them flexible. Within an hour of hitting the air, they begin to harden. Within a day, they're sharp enough to pierce leather. The transformation happens through oxidation, the same process that makes sliced apples turn brown. The mother gives birth to a 2-pound baby after 7 months of pregnancy, usually just one, because twins would be too dangerous. The baby can walk within an hour, climb within a day, and survive on its own within 2 weeks if necessary. Those quills aren't just for defense. Baby porcupines are born knowing how to rattle them as a warning, how to reverse into threats, how to whip their tails with enough force to drive quills deep into flesh. Number 10. Dolphins. Baby dolphins are born tail first after a year-long pregnancy, the opposite of most mammals. This backwards birth keeps them from drowning. The head comes out last, and the mother immediately pushes the 40-pound calf to the surface. The baby's dorsal fin and tail flukes are folded like soft rubber for birth, stiffening within hours. For the first month, the calf literally surfs in its mother's slipstream, getting pulled along without swimming. The calf nurses underwater by forming a watertight seal with its tongue, creating a straw that shoots high-fat milk straight down its throat. This milk contains 30% fat, compared to cow milk's 3%. It'll nurse for 2 years while learning the pod's signature whistle, their unique dialect that's passed down through generations like a family language. Number 9. Kiwi birds. Kiwi birds lay eggs so massive that X-rays show the egg filling the bird's entire body cavity, pressing organs against the rib cage. The egg weighs 1/4 of the mother's body weight. For a 120-pound female, that's like delivering a 30-pound baby. The female stops eating 3 days before laying because there's no room for food. Her stomach gets squashed to 1/10 its normal size. After laying this monster egg, the exhausted female waddles away and never looks back. The male incubates it for 80 days, the longest incubation of any bird. The chick hatches fully feathered, eyes open, and doesn't need its parents at all. It still has a yolk sac attached to its belly that feeds it for the first week, while it learns to hunt worms in the dark. New Zealand forest floor. Number 8. Chameleons. Jackson's chameleons broke the reptile rulebook. Instead of laying eggs like normal lizards, they keep them inside until they hatch. The female carries 8 to 30 eggs internally for 6 months, while her body swells to 3 times its normal size. She stops eating for the last week because the eggs take up her entire body cavity. When birth begins, she hangs from a branch and drops fully formed babies, still wrapped in sticky membrane sacs. Each baby chameleon tears through its sac within seconds and immediately climbs upward. They're born knowing that the ground means death. Their color-changing ability works from day one. Their tongues can shoot out to catch prey within hours, and their eyes move independently right away. The mother shows zero interest in them. Some babies get eaten by their own mother if they don't climb away fast enough. Number 7. Squirrels. Squirrel mothers give birth 44 days after mating to pink, hairless babies the size of a human thumb. Born 75 feet up in a tree hollow, these babies won't open their eyes for 5 weeks. The mother builds 3 different nests, moving her babies between them every few days to confuse predators. She carries each baby in her mouth, leaping between branches with a newborn dangling from her jaws. If the nest is disturbed, she'll move all babies within an hour to a backup location she prepared weeks earlier. Baby squirrels' teeth grow continuously from birth. If they don't gnaw constantly, their teeth will grow through their skulls. Number 6. Hamsters. A pregnant hamster goes into labor and machine guns out 4 to 12 babies in 30 minutes. Each pup drops like a translucent pink jelly bean, hairless, blind, about half an inch of squirming alien. The mother tears open the birth sac with her teeth and eats it, then bites through the umbilical cord. The babies pile together like pink gummy worms, completely helpless. No fur, pink bodies, sealed eyes, can't even regulate temperature. Here's the brutal part. If the mother gets stressed or senses weakness, she'll grab a baby and eat it whole. Normal hamster behavior. The survivors that make it through those first weeks develop fast and leave at 1 month. Number 5. Giraffes. The first thing a baby giraffe experiences is a 6-foot free fall onto hard African earth. Its front hooves emerge first, then its head, and then gravity takes over. The mother can't bend down to help. She's standing at her full 16-foot height. Legs spread wide for stability. The 150-pound calf tumbles out and crashes down in a tangle of impossibly long legs. That impact is violent enough to stimulate the calf's first breath, ripping through the birth sac in one brutal moment. Within an hour, this newborn, already 6 feet tall as a grown man, must stand. Its legs are longer than its body is wide, making those first attempts look like someone trying to fold a deck chair while drunk. The mother watches, but doesn't intervene much. This struggle is necessary. The calf needs to develop coordination fast because predators are already watching. Lions, hyenas, wild dogs, they all know that a giraffe birth means easy meat if they can get there before the calf can run. By its second day of life, a baby giraffe can outrun a human. Number 4. Dachshunds. Dachshunds were bred to have the worst possible body shape for giving birth. Those adorable sausage bodies with spines longer than most dogs, twice their size, paired with narrow hips barely wider than their heads, create a geometric nightmare when puppies need to come out. The birth canal has to make turns that puppies simply can't navigate. They get stuck, wedged sideways, trapped by their shoulders, or caught with their heads at impossible angles. Vets schedule C-sections for dachshunds like they're booking routine appointments. Some females need surgery for every single litter. The puppies themselves are proportionally huge compared to their mother. A dachshund puppy can be a quarter of its mother's body weight. Imagine a human woman giving birth to a 35-pound baby. Without human intervention, without vets standing by with surgical equipment, most dachshund mothers and their puppies wouldn't survive birth. We created this problem through centuries of breeding for longer backs and shorter legs. And now these dogs literally can't reproduce without us. Number 3. Leghorn chickens. A single leghorn hen can lay 320 eggs per year without ever meeting a rooster. Every 26 hours, another egg rolls down her assembly line of an oviduct, getting wrapped in membranes, albumin, and finally, a shell. Some hens malfunction spectacularly, laying eggs with 9 yolks, eggs inside other eggs, or eggs with no shell at all, just a leather-like membrane. The most productive hen ever recorded laid 371 eggs in 364 days. These birds have been engineered through selective breeding to convert feed to eggs at impossible rates. Wild chickens lay maybe 12 eggs per year. Leghorns never stop. Their bodies pull calcium from their own bones to make shells, which is why commercial layers often develop osteoporosis by age 2. They literally dissolve their skeletons to maintain production. Number 2. Donkeys. After carrying a foal for up to 14 months, a pregnant donkey stops eating 3 days before birth and starts producing milk that drips constantly from her udders. When labor begins, she positions her head between her front legs in a pose that hasn't changed in 5,000 years of domestication. The 60-pound foal emerges front feet first, taking up to 40 minutes to fully emerge. Unlike horses that hide to give birth, donkeys want witnesses. They'll wait for their human handlers to arrive before starting labor. The mother spends hours licking every inch of her foal, memorizing its scent, because donkeys can recognize their offspring by smell 20 years later. Number 1. Rhinos. Female rhinos stay pregnant for 18 months, and the baby that finally emerges weighs up to 140 pounds, heavier than most adult humans. The calf drops 3 feet to the ground because rhino mothers Don't lie down to give birth. Within an hour, this newborn tank is standing on legs thick as fence posts, nursing from its mother while she uses her 2-ton body to shield it from the African sun. The mother hasn't seen another rhino in months. These animals are so rare that females often go years without encountering a male. When she finally does get pregnant, she'll guard this calf for 3 years, teaching it which mud wallows are safe, where poachers set snares, and how to use its horn that won't fully grow for 5 years. With only 5,000 black rhinos left on Earth, every successful birth is a small miracle.